with one light on. There was a house at the end of a quiet street. Nothing special about it. White paint, a narrow porch, an old mailbox that leaned slightly to the left. But every night, no matter the weather, no matter the season, one light inside that house stayed on. People noticed. They noticed because most houses on that street went dark early. Families finished dinner. Curtains closed. Televisions flickered off. But that house remained awake. A single warm light glowing through the window, steady and patient, like it was waiting for someone. The man who lived there rarely spoke to anyone. He waved sometimes, nodded politely. No one knew much about him, except that he walked slowly, and he always returned home before sunset. Years ago, the house had been louder. There had been music drifting from the windows, laughter on the porch, a second pair of shoes by the door. But time has a quiet way of rearranging things. Now, the man ate dinner alone. He washed one plate, one cup. He left the light on every night, not because he was afraid of the dark, but because he remembered. Each evening, after the dishes were done, he sat by the window with a small wooden box in his hands. Inside were notes, short messages written on faded paper. "I'll be home late tonight. Save me a seat. Don't forget to turn the light on." He never read them all at once, just one, sometimes two. Then he placed the box back on the shelf and turned on the light. Across the street lived a young woman. She had moved in recently, dragging heavy boxes and heavier thoughts behind her. Her life felt unfinished, like a sentence cut off mid-word. At night, she sat on her couch, surrounded by unpacked boxes, watching the glow from the man's window. She didn't know why, but that light comforted her. It made the street feel less empty. One rainy evening, the power went out. The street fell into darkness, porches swallowed by shadow, windows turning black, except for that house. A moment later, the familiar warm glow returned. The young woman noticed. She grabbed her coat and crossed the street, rain soaking through her sleeves. She knocked gently. The door opened slowly. "Yes?" the man asked, surprised. "I'm sorry," she said. I wanted to ask, how do you still have power?" He smiled, a soft, tired smile. "I don't," he said. "It's just a lamp, battery powered." She hesitated. "Why do you leave it on every night?" For a moment he didn't answer. Then he stepped aside. "Come in," he said. Inside, the house smelled like old books and warm tea. He poured her a cup and gestured toward the chair by the window. "My wife," he said finally, "used to work late." He paused. She hated coming home to a dark house, said it made the silence louder. So he left the light on every night, even after she was gone. The woman listened quietly, feeling something loosen inside her chest. "I think," she said softly, "a lot of people walk past this street and don't feel alone because of that light." The man looked at the window. "I hope so," he said. After that night, the woman started leaving her own light on too. Then another house did the same, and another. Soon the street glowed gently each evening, not bright, not loud, just enough to say, "Someone is here, you're not alone." Years later, the man moved away. The house changed owners. The mailbox was fixed, the porch repainted. But the tradition stayed. Every night, one light in that house remains on. Not for fear, not for habit, but for memory, for kindness, for the quiet understanding that sometimes the smallest light is all someone needs to find their way home.